recognize characteristics of gravity, electricity, and magnetism as major kinds of forces acting on nature.
Woo! Nature!
Recognize that every object exerts gravitational force on every other object, and that the force exerted depends on how much mass the objects have and how far apart they are.
Can you give us an easier description?
The gravitational force is stronger when the objects are closer together and heavy, and the force is smaller when they are farther apart and lighter.
Can you give an example?
The Earth has more gravitational force than the Moon because it has a greater amount of mass.
Can you please draw a picture?
Sure. So, we have the Earth and the Moon. Earth, which is very large, Moon, which is very small compared to the Earth, and the Earth has a lot more gravitational force than the Moon because of how big it is. Just like I said, it has, the gravitational force is stronger because it has a lot more mass, and this gravitational force is a lot smaller or weaker because it has a lot less mass.
B. Demonstrate the advantages and disadvantages of series and parallel circuits and how they transfer energy.
There are many advantages and disadvantages of a series circuits. For example, two advantages of a series circuits would be that you can add additional power to the devices, usually using batteries, and they are easy to learn and to make. Disadvantages of a series circuits is that it is impossible to control the bulb, and individually.
And now for the parallel circuit. One main advantage of a parallel circuit is that it ensures all components of the circuit have the same voltage as the source. For instance, the second or each additional light bulb added to the circuit would have the same brightness. A disadvantage of the parallel circuit is that there could be a risk of fire in some cases.
In a parallel circuit, if one of the light bulbs goes out, they still stay the same.
C. Investigate and explain that electric currents and magnets can exert force on each other.
A magnet is an object or a device that gives off an external magnetic field. If you put two magnets facing each other, they may repel or attract each other.
The answer to that is that magnets have an electric current, which is basically the flow of energy. So when there's two of the same charges, they repel. Like the positive sides of both axes facing each other. But if they're opposite charges facing each other, they attract. Like love. Love, love, love.
When a negative and a positive, or a positive and a negative, come together, they attract. When a negative and a negative, or a positive and a positive, come together, they repel.
Ew, I don't like you. Okay.